Hi. I'd like to continue in this vein of the half step and the chromatic scale. When we started with the chromatic scale, we played it on one string. Well, what I'd like everybody to be able to do is to play the chromatic scale from the lowest note here, E open, on the 6th string, all the way up to here. Now we're all in sync on this on the 1st string, and we can practice our naming: E, E flat, D, D flat, C, D, B flat, A flat, G, F sharp, F, E. Now, when we go across the strings to keep going, when we go from the 1st string to the 2nd string, we need to come into the 4th fret here. Now, from here, we come into the 3rd fret. Actually, we have a choice, and I'll get right back to that in just a second. But the first way, let's just look at it where we go 2nd string open into the 3rd fret. Now we're back to the 4th fret from here on out. Now let's see how many octaves that is. This is an E. If we use our naming, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, there's another E. Let's try it again. E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, there's another one. So we've got 1 octave, 2 octaves, and the 3rd E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. Now I'm going to stop with the naming because I'm probably driving you crazy. I'm driving myself crazy for that matter. But I hope for those of you who are, this is still a little bit new, you're practicing that, your chromatic scale on every string and your naming. Okay, so let's go back, if we can, real quickly into this open position. Let's start on this G sharp, okay? Now, I said on the 2nd string and the 3rd string we could have done it another way. And that is because if we come down here to C, we could go into the 4th fret and get the B there. I wouldn't have to play any open string. All the other ones I would have to play that open. Now if I want this, maybe I want the sound of the open string, I want it to ring. Or maybe there would be a situation where I didn't want the open string to be ringing out, and I might select and choose not to do it that way. You know, where it doesn't have that ringing sound. Now how about if we're up in here and we want to play a chromatic scale across? Let's take the 5th position. Positions are generally defined as where your 1st finger sits here and takes over the function of the nut. Okay, if I'm coming down, I'm not going to go backwards. Let's say the part of the game is you can't go past this fret. Then I'm going to have to stretch. Remember we talked about how the half step felt when you played it from string to string. So I'm coming along and I've got to stretch. Now I can either slide here. Let's do that. Let's always try to get back to the 5th. We'll play it a few different ways, but for the first time, let's do that. Stretch, slide. Now remember, between the 2nd and the 3rd, I don't have to stretch. Stretch, slide, stretch, slide, stretch. Let's go back and slide with a little finger. Stretch with a little, with a pinky. Now, slide, stretch, slide, stretch, slide, get out of jail free. Okay, we could look at it yet another way, and that is to just let our fingers move along the fretboard as we're coming across without the sliding. Let's try that this time in 3rd position. Ready? Stretch. Stay where we are. stretch. Don't slide, stretch. Don't slide, stretch. Okay, kind of cool there. I actually played a line that went down, descending pitchwise, and yet my hand went up the fingerboard. Oh, that'll drive you crazy if you think about that too much. So, on the mechanical side of the chromatic scale now, we can play it in 3 complete octaves, from E to E, E to E, and E to E. So this makes a wonderful exercise in picado. And we can also play it in the middle of the neck now. Stretch, 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 stretch. So you could play it from the A, for instance, to A. Stretch, 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 slide, unison. Okay? That ought to keep you busy for a little while. And I think you'll find that you know, this is very practical. There's a lot of ways to play these notes now where you're not going to get locked. If you don't have any more room and you need to go one way, then you know how to do that. If you have room and want to go down, you can do that. You can play it across, you can play it linearly. Look at the tape again and break each one of them down and get it down to where you can slide, stretch and slide, or stretch and move. Okay, see you next time.